The nominations for the Oscars has been finally made known just this past Thursday, and the Sinners led the roster of films and projects with a whopping 16 nominations, the highest so far. So now Sinners has the highest number of nominations in the Oscars, followed by One Battle After Another with 13 and other films in that order. So we'll be taking a look at how these, nominations are shaping up with others, you know, rather than saving shaping up, we'll be taking a look at as to how these nominations are making people feel whether excited or feel that their favorite projects have been snubbed. So we'll be taking a look at all these right here on the Film Mandates. My name is Papa O2. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to the Film Mandate. So we'll be delving into these nominations right away. And talking about the nominations, over a couple of years, nominations have been a key major factor in honoring, people who are deserving of their craft. And this year seems, or just, 2025, of which this event will be held for, has, you know, taken into considerations quite a number of projects that are very deserving of the nominations, and it's quite interesting to see. And with this particular year, the major front runners that we so know, or most people, agree on the fact that they stand a higher chance of winning a number of Oscars categories that have they been nominated in is definitely Sinners, and then that is also actually leading the major front runner that most people talk about in the space, particularly for Best Picture, is none other than also One Battle After Another. That is the Paul Thomas Anderson directed film, and it looks like truly with these nominations, it has gone a long way to prove that yes, these two films are quite juggernauts of a film, and the race between and the race for this entire Oscars actually falls between these two films. So it is quite exciting to see. But before I actually talk about how wonderful the nominations for One Coogler is, let's quickly go through the entirety of the Oscar nominations. That is, if you've not had the opportunity to watch it yet, then I have good news for you. All these is captured here on the Oscars, website itself. So let's quickly take a look as to the 2026 98th Academy Awards nominations. So, actor in a leading role, as none of these people are actually, it's not surprising because all these people are actors, or people that were set to actually be in the running for the Oscars during the prediction times when we are all predicting. So it's of no surprise that they all have appeared here. I don't know whether any of them, any other person who have not been nominated, have been snubbed whatsoever, but we'll take a look at it quickly. So here we have Timothy Chalamet, Marty Supreme actor in a leading role, and then Leonardo DiCaprio, One Battle After Another, Blue Moon, Ethan Hawke, and then Michael B. Jordan for Sinners, and then Wagner Moura, The Secret Agent. And it's quite exciting because in other awards preceding this, you have Marty Supreme, Timothy Chalamet winning for one of the awards ceremonies that was held before these Oscars, and Wagner Moura also winning. So the race is quite tight when it comes to this particular category, pointing to the fact that it may go to anyone, possibly. But I think the major choice in this category, as said by a lot of critics and even film fans alike, is Timothy Chalamet. Even though others also believe that Michael B. Jordan being able to play twins, giving them distinct character, is actually even a nod for him to win. So indeed, all the actors in this category are deserving of the award, whoever ends up winning. But obviously, it looks like the favorite for this particular season here is Timothy Chalamet. But I tend to agree to the fact that Michael B. Jordan being able to captivate audiences with two different characters on screen and delivering it such spectacularly well. Not to say that Timothy Chalamet and the others didn't. All these people are major giants in their fields. But for what Michael B. Jordan was able to do, considering the fact that it's not like he was nominated for just one of the characters. It was for both. So I tend to agree with pundits or fans who believe that Michael B. Jordan should actually be the one to win. As to whether that's going to happen, that I do not know. But regardless, whoever wins, I think definitely is deserving of it. But my tip would go, or my hope would go for Michael B. Jordan. So let's go in there. Actor in a supporting role. Here we have Benicio del Toro, one battle after another. We have Jacob Elordi, Frankenstein, Delroy Lindo, Sinners, Sean Penn, one battle after another, Stellan Skarsgård, Sentimental Valley. When you see certain names in this nominations, it gets quite interesting because to see Skarsgård in this list alone is like, oh, it's almost like a done deal for him. However, yes, you have Sean Penn churning out such a spectacular performance, and Sean Penn always brings his A game. He is actually an Oscar winner. So, if for those who may not know, he is an Oscar winner as well. But in this category, Delroy Lindo happens to be his first time being nominated. I think Jacob Elordi as well is also being nominated for the first time. I'm not sure about Benicio del Toro. I mean, Benicio del Toro is such a phenomenal actor, and I won't be surprised if it's been nominated already before. But this particular category, it looks like the likelihood those who are likely to receive this award may be Jacob Elordi and Sean Penn, even though you can't count out Stellan Skarsgård. But any of them may pull a surprise, particularly Benicio del Toro. You can't rule him out because Benicio del Toro, every role he plays, he brings a layer, of depth to it that you take serious. Even in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, playing the I've forgotten the name, but the Collector, he brought some kind of acting to this role that made you take it serious. I don't know about others, but whenever you watch him in any of the Marvel films, it makes you even forget that you are watching a superhero movie. Yes, it has some different nuances than perhaps what you would expect for a dramatic film, but regardless, he gets lost in the role so much that you tend to forget that this is actually Benicio del Toro. I mean, looking at films like Sicario. This guy is a phenomenal actor. So any of them winning, I don't think. I mean, any of them win. Delroy Lindo, who is a phenomenal actor. If any of them wins, honestly, it is. I think they are deserving of it. Now let's go to the actress in the leading role. We have Jessie Buckley for Hamnet, and Rose Byrne. If I had legs, I'd kick you. Kate Hudson, Song Sang Blue, Renate Rinsby for Sentimental Value, and Emma Stone for Begonia. Emma Stone, I mean, Emma Stone is like the upcoming Meryl Streep. This almost every movie she does now is like a sure bet that she's going to be nominated for an Oscar, a leading role, whatever, role she's performing in. So she is a force to contend with. As to whether she's going to win, that I cannot tell. It looks like the favorite here may be Jessie Buckley, and I think she won for the Golden Globes, and it's likely is it for the Golden Globes? Pardon me if I'm mixing it up, but she's won a couple of the major awards prior to this. So has Rose Byrne also won for this, and Kate Hudson is the performance together, playing opposite Hugh Jackman is also something else, quite a phenomenal embodiment of such a character that she pulled it off. I must admit, Renate Reigns, pardon me, I think I'm not getting the name right. I haven't watched Sentimental Value yet, so I think I would have to watch it. I would definitely watch it so that maybe come at a later date and see which one of those actors are more deserving. Maybe she may stand out more than ever before. But the favorites on this list that are mostly spoken of, I think, is Jessie Buckley and Rose Byrne. And yeah, Kate Hudson is in the mix somewhere. But these are, it's more like a two-way race between the two actors here that I've mentioned. So obviously, but it looks like likely it may go to Jessie Buckley for her performance in Hamlet, a Shakespeare tale. So that is quite interesting to see. But you cannot count Emma Stone out. That is something you cannot count her out. Let's take a look at actress in a supporting role, and here we have Elle Fanning, Sentimental Value. Even though I haven't watched Sentimental Value, Elle Fanning in any movie is she's great. She's great in any movie that you find her in. And we have Inga Ib's daughter, Lilias. I hope I pronounced it right. Um, Pardon me, I'm not sure about. I don't even know this actress, but I'll definitely watch a Sentimental Value to be able to comment on it better next time. So Amy Madigan, yes, weapons. One of the favorites in this particular category, and Wunmi Mosaku. Mm, she is amazing. She is definitely amazing. And we have Tiana Taylor, One Battle After Another. Let me say this. I don't know any of you watched my trailer reaction for One Battle After Another, but I remember watching the trailer and seeing that little performance in the trailer. I was like, Tiana Taylor is going to kill this role. And true to that, she actually did. She really, really did her best in this role, and I'm not surprised you won for the Golden Globe. So obviously, the likelihood for her winning this is quite high. As to whether she's going to win, I think she might be the favorite among the five in this list. I mean, Wunmi is such a spectacular performer, and Elle Fanning is. I have, even though I haven't watched this Sentimental Value, I can tell you for a fact that her performance in it definitely, yes, I'm yet to watch it, but I can predict for certain that her performance in this is something worth talking about. And if she ends up winning, you can't begrudge that at all. So yeah, that is quite a powerful list of names there, with the exception of Inga, which I believe that she's deserving of it. That is why she's been put in this category. So I would definitely watch it as well. But I think any of these people in this category are deserving of the trophy. So now let's come to the animated feature. I like animated films a lot. So here we go. Arco, pardon me if I don't mention the names of the producers on this project, and Elio, K-pop Demon Hunters, Little Emily, or the character of Rain, Zootopia 2. And I think if you did watch the nomination video, when the two films of Zootopia 2 and K-pop Demon Hunters were mentioned, they received quite a rousing applause compared to the other three. And I think the main favorites amongst these five is Zootopia 2, with all of them, screaming, their support for it. It looks like it may likely go to K-pop Demon Hunters, even though it is very, very possible that Zootopia can take the trophy for the day for that. So that is quite an interesting, category. And Elio is such an amazing animation as well. So you cannot take it away from. I think it's a Pixar film as well. So it is quite an interesting category here. Here we have animated short film. We have Butterfly, Forever Green, The Girl Who Cried Pearls, Retirement Plan, and the Three Sisters. And I thought I was going to see Snowbird. I've forgotten the animator for that, but I watched a number of his YouTube videos, and that gentleman is such an amazing animator. I think that short film won an awards for a number of the major events that was held, and unfortunately, he didn't qualify for this place. But I think definitely any of these particular categories, films are deserving of the nomination as well. So let's now come to casting, which is the first of its kind, or which is the first time this category has been introduced. So definitely, I mean, I think this is one of the best, or it is one of the best initiative us the academy has taken, because a lot of these casting agencies or casting agents have been casting directors have been doing a great job populating films that we so much like with actors that ordinarily we might not have even thought could embody the roles that they you know star. And I think to have them being honored finally is, it is very commendable, and I must commend the Academy for taking an initiative to get that done. So with Hamnet, we have Nina Gold, Marty Supreme, we have Jennifer Venditti, and One Battle After Another, we have Cassandra Kulu Kundes, and then the Secret Agent Gabriel Domingos, and the Sinners Francine Meisler, Francine Meisler's. And it looks like One Battle After Another and Sinners are like in a two-horse race here. Definitely, Sinners leads it with 16 nominations. I mean, we'll come back to that. As to whether Sinners is going to win more awards than One Battle After Another, that we cannot tell. It looks like One Battle After Another in the previous awards that have been held, it's taken a lot of those awards compared to what Sinners have taken itself. So it looks like the favorite in this, or the likely favorite in this whole Oscars, may be One Battle After Another, even though Sinners has more norms than One Battle After Another. Yeah, we come to cinematography, and we have Frankenstein, Dan Lostin, Marty Supreme, Darius Konji, and One Battle After Another, Michael Bauman. Sinners, we have Autumn Durald Al, and then we have Train Dreams for Aldolfo Villoso. I must admit, any of these films can easily win. Frankenstein is quite amazing. I mean, if you are teaming up with what's it called? Um, if you are teaming up with Del Toro, why am I missing his first name? Definitely, you're going to get some amazing images. And One Battle After Another is also quite amazing. But Sinners seems to be such the way manner it's captured, and the fact that the entire film embodied, or was able to embody the different genres it wove itself into, is quite amazing. It's quite amazing. So the cinematography, of course, was what was able to project it across to us, even though yes, the story did that. But I think perhaps for me, my likely favorites go for Sinners, as to how artistic it was. At the same time, it was commercial as well. So I may likely choose Sinners, but hey, One Battle can win, Frankenstein can win. So it is something that, I mean, we must prepare ourselves for. And Marty Supreme can pull off a surprise to us without us knowing. But artistically, I mean, in terms of how beautiful everything was shot, I, for one, you know, would prefer Sinners, or would choose Sinners instead. So, yeah. Now we come to costume design. We have Avatar, Fire, and Ash, and it looks like this is the very first time we are seeing Avatar being nominated for any of the categories in the Oscars. We also have Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, and Sinners. So um, it is likely going to go to either Frankenstein. I'm not so certain about Avatar, Fire, and Ash, but for it to have been nominated for this category, means something. So I won't be surprised if it does win as well. Sinners also in the being a period piece, and then moving forward to a time, the present day, it could also surprise us because of how stylistic all these things were. So, and Ruth E. Carter, originally, as we all might have heard, designed most of the costumes for Blade, which was also set to be a period piece until they pulled a plug on the time period with which they had in mind doing the film. So yeah, Ruth E. Carter has always been quite amazing. I think she did win for. She was nominated for I think Wakanda, as well as Black Panther, the first movie as well. So yeah, she could also pull for a surprise like that. Now we come to the directing, and already it looks like Paul Thomas Anderson's leading the way, having won for the Golden Globes awards and others. But yeah, they are strong, mighty, contenders here. We have Chloe Zhao, and Chloe Zhao definitely an Oscar winner who won for is it Nomadland, and I think she won her film won for Best Picture also in the Golden Globes, if I'm not mistaken. And the number of awards she's won, a lot of people have predicted that her film or her in particular can win for the Oscars. I mean, as the best director, so it's highly plausible. Josh Safdie, yes, he could win as well. Just that across board, he might not be the favorite, even though he is said to have directed. I mean, he actually directed Timothy Chalamet to such stellar performance. So yeah, you never know. And but with all likelihood, it looks like Paul Thomas Anderson is the very favorite here. But Grosjean could pull a surprise. My hope is that Van Coogler will be able to nab this, but it looks like this may be the time for Paul Thomas Anderson. And most of the film pundits' view is that, you know, he's been able to direct such wonderful films that we've enjoyed over decades, and he's not had it ever. So the conversation here is that they may give it to him, and I think even if it's given to him, based on the fact that maybe he's been in the industry for so long, it's still deserving of it because One Battle After Another was expertly directed. But seeing what Sinners was able to also pull off is such a strong reason why perhaps One Kugler should win for this category. But I think any of them winning, I mean, I think clearly in this category is among the three people here. But maybe Chloe Zhao comes in third. But I think the race here is really between Paul Thomas Anderson and Ryan Coogler. And if any of them wins, I think, yeah, they're deserving of it. Documentary film, feature film, we have The Alabama Solution, Come See Me in the Good Light, Cutting Through Rocks, Mr. Nobody Against Putin, and The Perfect Neighbor. We also go to the documentary short film, All the Empty Rooms, Armed Only with a Camera, The Life and Death of Brent Renaud. And then we have Children No More, Where and Are Gone, The Devil is Busy, and Perfectly a Strangeness. That's quite an interesting title. So we come to film editing F1, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. And yes, I think the likelihood, the film that is likely to win here is F1. I think so. I mean, not to take it away from One Battle After Another or Sinners, but I think it's very likely that film editing is going to go to F1. And yes, One Battle and Sinners can win this category, but I think it's going to go to F1. International feature film, we have Brazil, The Secret Agent, France, It Was Just an Accident, Norway, Sentimental Value, Sirat, Spain, and then we have Tunisia for The Voice of Rajab. I think the likelihood I think it may go to the voice of Hind Rijab because of the story matter, the subject matter treated in this film. But I think looking at the presence in this Oscars, if you are to just use that projection, seeing how seeing the number of times they've been nominated, is likely going to be between Sentimental Value or The Secret Agent. That's what I can likely say. But perhaps the very favorite may be the voice of Hind Rajab. So that is what I think. Now we come to live action short film. We have Butcher's Stain, A Friend of Dorothy, Jane Austen's period drama, The Singers, and Two People Exchanging Saliva. Then we come to makeup and hairstyling. Here we have Frankenstein, Kokuho, Sinners, The Smashing Machine, and The Ugly Stepsister. Let me be honest with you, I haven't watched Kokuho, so I may not be able to speak much on it, but I think Kokuho is a Japan film. Yeah, it is a Japanese film. And when you bring Japanese films into the category of makeup and hairstyling, I I can likely guarantee you that they may take it hands down. They may take it hands down. But well, seeing what Guillermo del Toro, yeah, the first name is Guillermo. I forgot the name for a while. But Guillermo del Toro's makeup and hairstyling for his monster films are always epic. So honestly, it may go to Frankenstein, but Sinners comes in a close third, if I should put it that way. If I'm just to say Coco is a Japanese film, and yeah, I may say Sinners become in a close third, but you never know who may end up winning there. And for what they were able to do for Dwayne the Rock Johnson playing or starring as Macaire, changing his face so much, you may think I mean, apart from him speaking, we are likely not to think that this is Dwayne Johnson. So they may have a chance for that as well. Yeah, I haven't watched the Ugly Stepsister, so it might be difficult to speak on that one. But hey, any of them can win because I'm on because I haven't watched every one of them, so I'm being a little biased here. So that is the case. Now let's go to music original score. We have Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, and Sinners. It may likely go to Sinners. I mean, Ludwig Göransson won for the um, Golden Globes, so it is very likely that I may go to him as well. But I mean, yeah, any of them could actually present quite a challenge. But I think the favorite here will be Sinners. Let's go to music original score, and here we have Dear Me, and then Golden from. So Dear Me comes from which one? Diane Warren, Relentless, and Golden K-pop Demon Hunter. I Lied to You from Sinners, Sweet Dreams of Joy, Viva Veldi, and then Train Dreams from Train Dreams. So I think the two favorites one here may go to Golden from K-pop Demon Hunter and I Lied to You Sinners. I think these two may actually be the one to take it. But being a Diane Warren Relentless film, it may likely also go to that as well. So you never know. But I think I mean, K-pop Demon Hunter may have an edge on all of them. So yeah. Now I think this is the last. Oh, this is not the last. So we come to the best picture category: Bugonia, F1, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners, Strange Dreams. And I mean, nobody need tell you that this is between actually One Battle After Another and Sinners. This is, I mean, it's a two-way street when it comes to this one. That's not to say any of these films are not good. They are really good, but it's clearly between Sinners and One Battle After Another. And seeing what One Battle After Another has been able to do in all those previous awards, festivals, it may likely go to it. But I mean, for seeing how diverse of an academy the Oscars are now, Sinners can win this category. Honestly, Sinners can win this category as well. So it'll be quite interesting to see. Production design: Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sinners. Honestly, I think the production design here will highly likely may go to Frankenstein. When it comes to production design, any film that Guillermo del Toro does always or most often ends up being nominated for production design, and I think it may likely go to him or Hamnet. I think so, or him or Hamnet. Maybe the likely follow up in a third position, maybe Sinners. Yeah, that's what I can say to that. Now let's come to sound. Here we have F1, Frankenstein, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Sirat. Honestly, I think sound design here will go for F1. F1 may win. I think may win this category hands down. F1 may win it hands down. But Sinners also has a maybe a strong contender here. I can tell you for a fact. But I think here goes to F1 in terms of sound design. Visual effects, we see the second nomination for the Avatar Fire and Ash a year for visual effects. Joe Lettery, as usual. F1, Jurassic World Rebirth, The Lost Bus, Sinners. The Lost Bus is also quite an amazing film, looking at what they were able to do to capture an event during the Los Angeles fires. So it was beautifully done and amazingly done. The effects was something else. But definitely, it is likely going to go for. I mean, Avatar Fire and Ash is likely to win this category hands down. I mean, you can't take it away from that. Avatar Fire and Ash is likely to win this category. And if not Avatar Fire and Ash, I think the close second may be Jurassic World Rebirth. Yeah. So writing, adapted screenplay, Bugonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, and Train Dreams. It may go for, I mean, I think it may go for One Battle After Another. I think that is what it's likely to win. It won for the Golden Globes, and I think it's going to win for this category as well. Writing original screenplay. So here, I mean, in other events, Sinners was shown for this category, but here we have Blue Moon. It was just an accident. Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. I think Van Coogler has a higher chance of winning this particular category. Yeah, I think that is it. So yeah, this is quite a lengthy list of I mean Oscars that nominations that we've seen, and it's quite amazing how Ron Coogler and Sinners have been able to pull 16 nominations, and that is no joke. 16 solid nominations, and I think this is quite instrumental in his career. That is not to say that, every film he's directed, even the Wakanda Forever, he's able to pull off such amazing, set pieces and is able to tell a story that is uniquely an auteur direction, an artist auteur direction, and he's been able to do all that. Even Wakanda Forever, when he had quite a small time turnover because of the passing of Chadwick Boseman to redo the story. He was able to pull off a story that is something that you watch and it taps on your heartstrings. And so, yeah, he is a filmmaker in his own right. And I think if I'm to draw any parallels, it may not be the perfect parallels to draw. But if I'm to draw any parallels, that would be between himself and Peter Jackson for what Peter Jackson was able to do with the Lord of the Rings, where the Lord of the Rings film got nominated for 13 categories, and I think it won for 11 or all. I might be forgetting that. But after that one, I think Peter Jackson has been a force to reckon with, even when he did the film King Kong, when he directed the film King Kong. So when he was able to do the Lord of the Rings, that's something else. And also what he was able to achieve with the Hobbits, yeah, it might not have been on par with the Lord of the Rings, but it proved that he was a force of a filmmaker. And it looks like that is indeed a case for Ran Coogler when it comes to what he's been able to do with Sinners. And I must tell you for a fact that I think that this is just the beginning of films from him that are likely to, carry as many awards, noms as possible. And I think he may be leaning more, perhaps after his time with the MCU or Marvel, he may be leaning more into originals than even sort of rebooting films, because I think him being able to pull off such success, even though yes, he's not won any of them yet, but to be able to get 16 nominations for a film is no small feat, and I think that is quite an amazing thing that he's been able to do. And I think it establishes him as a force to contend with as a director, and that is something that we are perhaps going to see more of. And anytime he releases films from there, then on, from after, people are going to pay quite an attention to it. And it's not of no surprise that Pam Abdi and Michael De Luca actually signed such an exclusive deal that has never been seen in the life of Hollywood before. That after 25 years, the rights to Sinners would return to Coogler, the filmmaker. So I'm for whatever reason why how they saw this particular success in him. I mean, I think credit should also be given to Pam Abdi and Michael De Luca for you know bargaining, doing this arrangement to give us the opportunity to see what Van Kugler had for us. So indeed, I think Van Kugler's future is amazing, and if I'm to guesstimate as to the number of awards that he's likely to win, I think he would win not less than 8 awards for the entirety of the film, half of it, yeah, 16. But I won't be surprised if he ends up winning more, maybe 13, or even, yeah, maybe 13, the highest, lowest 8, 13 max. But hey, we are yet to see what he will be able to pull off when finally that happens. So I think I've been blabbering for too long, and I let me know what you think about this small analysis I've given with regards to the nominations for the Oscars. I would like to really know your thoughts on any of the ideas that I propounded, or if you have any ideas that you want to share with us, you want my our audience to know what you think of any of these categories. I didn't get enough time to talk about the snubs and the ones that were shown, but maybe on another take on this, I will do so as well. So whatever your thoughts may be, kindly leave it in the comment section below. And also soon, I've come to an end of another episode of the Film Mandate. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll come your way next time with another exciting episode. My name is Papa Otu, and thanks for watching.